you have to support that lie. So in 1884, at the Berlin Conference, a decision was made by, well, let me go ahead and put it up. Just make this simple and close this out for tonight. There's just so much information. I knew I might have to do this. So I'm okay with it. I hope you are. You see there on the left, the countries, they divided up Africa. Now, the question that I always ask when I'm teaching this is a show of hands of people that even know that this happened. That in 1884, a decision was made of how they would divide up Africa, how Africa would be colonized. And all of them came down at the same time. Not that they hadn't already been doing business there. I mean, slavery had happened. People had been taken from Africa to become slaves, right? And just as a side note, for every million that they captured, 1 million died. The estimation of the number of Africans that died in Africa as well as the Middle Passage is 20 million people. We know 6 million died on the ships coming over. But the estimation is 20 million people. Now, I got some stories that I can tell you that would they're gross. But there are diaries that were written by the people that were capturing these folks. And those diaries give you an idea, a picture of what it was like. They would go in different directions because the stench of dead bodies was so bad. In 1884, Africa being the continent that has everything, gold, diamonds, rubber, has everything that you could ever want to get rich off of, they decided to divide it up. Now, that's not insignificant to our conversation. Because it helps you understand how we got here. And so, an image, and I already alluded to this, but I'm gonna talk about it again. An image, a picture, is 60,000 times more impressionable than words. So what the missionaries would do, because a part of their Christianization of these folks was to subjugate them. So you hear people that will talk about that and put Christianity down because it was practiced wrong, but saying it was used to oppress us and created by the white man for that purpose. And none of that is true. Black folks had it first. It got perverted. I've already shown you that. Okay? But what they would do is they would set up these schools and they had young children draw pictures of Jesus as a white man, again, as I said, to make that connection. He looks like us. And therefore we have more of his favor. That's why you've been subjugated. Because we're God's people. That kind of thinking and arrogance still exists today. That God, the creator of all things, would make one group of people superior to another. What kind of God would that even be? Now, somebody's not practicing it right. But the point is that was what was used to suppress. And that kind of thinking, that kind of control, one of the reasons why, it's all tied in, one of the reasons why America supports Israel as they do, if they were black-skinned people, that wouldn't be happening. But because they're not, it keeps that narrative that the missionaries had going. It keeps that narrative going. Do you see how all of this is connected? And if I had time, which I don't, we're getting ready to finish up. If I could give you this other piece right now, which I will give to you, you'll see how there's a through line here of racism and superiority that the Palestinians are currently being subjected to, and we'll deal with how they got to this point, right? Everything's been taken away from them and all that. We'll deal with a lot of that, and I've got some videos that are horrific. Don't let the kids be around next Monday night. It's horrific, the stuff that's happened. And it just has perpetuated this whole lie of superiority, of being better than. And the kind of oppression that's attached to it is why they thought they could just carpet bomb. To date, I've heard two numbers. I'll go with the lowest one. 25,700 people have been killed. Mostly women and children have been killed because somebody thinks they're better and superior. I mean, I read to you, the whole nation is responsible. Every breathing Palestinian. What, a baby? A 7-year-old, a 10-year-old, 12-year-old? A woman? I showed you a video last week. A woman was killed. She was a teacher. Talked her family into going to a safer place, and is shot with a 5-year-old walking next to her with a white flag in his hand. No way she was a threat. Are you hearing me? I've gone past the time I said I was going to, okay. Oh my goodness. There's just so much information. I mean, one of the numbers that I heard was 30,000 people have been killed. And the part about that, and it'll get to that number even if it's not there yet, unfortunately. But a part of the problem for me is Hamas only has 30,000 soldiers. You've killed or gotten close to killing the equivalent of the number of soldiers that you're trying to get to. Last little thought, and I gotta go. Alfred Thayer Mahan is the person that coined the phrase Middle East. Actually, it had been said before he said it, but he was popular, naval individual, popular enough that it stuck once he said it. What's significant about that? That this is clearly when Africa was separated, Libya, Israel, they're being separated from Africa. And this is when that kind of thinking began. All right, well, that's all I got time for. I'd like to do some more because I love talking about this topic. But that's all we got time for tonight. I'm Pastor Jackie Jackson. I want to thank you for hanging with me. And next week, I promise, we'll get to the heart of this, and I will let you know exactly who the original Hebrews were today, and I'm going to blow your mind because they're still living today. They are still here. DNA tested. We know exactly who they are, and you can help me spread the truth. May the Lord bless you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.